Let us get this on. Trail. Soul Rise.
Since this will be the final class trial, I've come up with a special rule. So listen up! If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school, you guys win! But if you can't, then I win! And of course, waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super heart-pounding punishment!
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not! Bears never go back on their word!
That's a little bullcrap.
Never mind all that. I just...
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
Is the mastermind only one person? Don't bother. I already know the answer. You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me!
Yeah. You're an idiot.
I'm right, aren't I? I knew it!
Oh boy. Back to this. Back to Hero being a fucking idiot.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right!
Hey, you stole my line. You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
Your photo
Wait, hold on.
everyone.
This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us each have that kind of evidence?
No, it's wrong.
If you would think it there. You each got photos that
It's not
show
just you
someone.
three. I have evidence too.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different. With the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right. Because in my picture... See? I'm the only one not in it.
Hero, you have a picture too.
Okay, but be careful with it.
So the secret in these pictures has been revealed.
Secret or whatever, I don't care. You guys are all in on this together. That's why I'm the only one missing.
Hero, you are a fucking idiot.
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
Monokuma's the one trying to trick all of you, you idiots.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioned if the mastermind laid a trap. To make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Huh? I laid a trap? A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
Photos.
I got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing. And in the picture Hero got, he's the only one missing.
Anyone notice something funny? Junko's the only one without her face shown.
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
See?
In other
Junko's
words,
hidden.
Monokuma gave each of us a group
Almost
photo
like they're
in which
telling you
that
something.
person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
Yep.
Figured it out,
The
huh?
real enemy is the one whose face isn't shown in any of the photos.
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
Listen, can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking
Well,
about,
it's very
but I'd
direct.
like to double check something.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Jingo's face is hidden. What's so wild? Yeah, he knows.
Can you just forget about the photo already?
Fine.
Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
And on top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
That wasn't a trick.
So you think they're fake? No, I assure you, they're quite real.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that. So it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong, I don't remember taking this picture either, but... is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
Amnesia.
Now I understand.
We all have amnesia.
Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Yep.
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. As if. You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
Not a cult type story.
Yeah! We all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
How's that crazy? It's only natural that they won't believe it. But no matter how much they refuse, if that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. They can't move forward until they accept it. And there's one way to prove it. Interview DVD.
You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory.
How would you know?
Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
No, that's wrong. Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
Not really, no.
No, it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us being interviewed by the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster.
When you say all of us,
I mean all of us, including you.
you lied! I never did any kind of interview.
They know of.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself. The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I I lost my memory somehow?
What's the thing about losing your memory? How do you know when you lose it?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here!
When it happens.
To be honest, I have something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster. What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could. Even me. I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not. Even if I bought the whole amnesia thing, the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, we can't move forward until you accept it. Am I right?
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I know it sounds absurd, but if it's the truth,
Indeed, we only have one path in front of us.
then I really...
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all making my head hurt.
That's not hard.
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too, huh?
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
How could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains?
That's not how it works.
Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us.
I knew I could count on...
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't... There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking...
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
Original motive.
You mean the motive you came up with to try and get us to all kill each other?
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does. But that part's still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy, but let's all focus on the class.
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else?
Pick your argument.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure?
Exactly! You're just making stuff up! There's no way the mastermind is here! The mastermind is probably 1,000,000 miles away! Because masterminds always lurk off in the
Background, right?
So who did it?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything.
That much I'm...
When you... The mastermind...
Of course, they have to be...
What makes you so sure?
Exactly! You're just making stuff up! The mastermind is probably 1,000,000 miles away!
No, he's wrong.
Bum bum bum.
There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
I mean, it's your mom, and some people come in, yes.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What? Why?
Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier. So if the mastermind is in the school...
How'd they manage to...
So we're the only ones here? It's not me! I'm not the mastermind!
Well, it's not me!
I blame Makoto!
What? Why me?
'Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
Alter ego helped.
Oh, I get it! The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
That doesn't make any sense. You all saw what happened.
Aw, nuts! You got me!
Don't play along with your stupidity.
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough.
That's a good point. Rather than wasting time bickering...
He's right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But...
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
And who had all those injuries all those times ago?
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma... It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago. So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
No.
Huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means...
You're wrong.
She denied me. Before I could even say anything.
That's gross.
Come on. I mean, you think I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to... Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
to be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school. In which case, they could be the very thing that...
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her.
But if that's what killed her, then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden...
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night? Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant. If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. So who was it that attacked you?
The mastermind.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the... When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me. But I was wrong. It wasn't her at all.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise? You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? You never saw their face, so you can't have. I'm telling you now, it was.
You're wrong. There's another part of the attack.
Oh? And is it the. Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot. Or perhaps the left foot. Or could it be. The hips? You never saw their face, right? So you can't have. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. Even there's another part of the attack.
Oh? And is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the... Or perhaps... Or could it be... the hips? You never saw their face, so you can't have any idea. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. There's another part of the...
Oh? And is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot, or perhaps the left foot. Or could it be the hips? You never saw their face, so you can't have any. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro.
No, it's wrong. Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me.
was no mark.
And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it couldn't have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh, no snap.
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Your hands!
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Ouch.
My scars should suffice as proof. Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No.
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you have nothing, I promise you, without a doubt.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right?
Nearly the entire
Did the
time.
culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
Oh.
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
Yep.
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
Kitchen, the pool, the biolab.
Got it!
That's pretty obvious.
Mukuro's body was probably kept
Biolab? You mean on the
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue. So it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof. I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says Biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
Of course.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in.
Yep.
Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
You made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
That's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
Are you talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency.
La la la, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! I'm not listening! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! I'm not listening!
How the heck?
What? What do you want? I'm not listening!
How the heck?
Is this really...
Of course.
I refuse to give up yet!
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? I'm not listening!
Damn it.
You're getting all
I know
riled
it.
up! Are you sure about this? That's impossible!
Yeah, that
I'm not listening!
This should prove it!
you asshole. You didn't show it. That's why it can. I was like, what's going on? Wouldn't.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is... the lights!
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one, and there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
Oh, God damn it.
Shoot!
Pissed on twice.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? What?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
Sayaka. Junko. Suzuki. Leon. Chihiro. Mondo. Taka was 6. Ifumi was 7. Celeste was 8. Sakura was 9. And the victim number 10 was Muguro.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
That would be very
But
stupid.
if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then,
It may very well be that,
Well, if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
I got it! What about if the same person was killed twice?
Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered. And
Murdered and murdered again?
if that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims.
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
That's obvious.
It was Mukuro, of course, before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have
It's
been?
obvious.
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious because Kyoko's totally delusional. Who is this someone else that Muku? Was it Sayaka Maizono, Junko Enoshima, Leon Kuwata, Chihiro Fujisaki, Mondo Owada, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, Hifumi Yamada, Celestia Lu, whatever.
Funny.
Or maybe
Very scandalous.
Sakura Ogami. No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice.
No, it's wrong.
That was obvious. It's funny. If you had picked away the
Junko.
hidden the thing, the thing was white, so you couldn't scan that. You're supposed to scan the purple thing. I didn't even know that, and I got it.
Wasn't her fatal injury pretty
That's
similar
funny.
to Mukuro's?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body.
Yep.
When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered,
And the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries
Also, funny thing,
that match up.
one person's face is consistently hidden.
That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
so let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears.
Yep.
Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again.
Yep.
Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
It's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means you're an idiot.
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Duh.
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
Keep up.
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive.
No. She's dead.
She took Junko's body
No.
and made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be.
It's the complete opposite.
Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
No.
The body we found in the garden, it wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
The body we found in the garden wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. So the mastermind.
What do you say, Monica?
Should I try
Body
moving this to cut out
found
the
in the
profile
garden
or
wasn't
wasn't?
Mukuro.
Let's try this.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like so the mastermind's true identity is
Nope.
Mukuro.
Okay.
Shoot.
It's worth a shot.
Body
Literally.
found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like so the mastermind's true identity is
Okay, that's not
Mukuro. Shoot.
it. Oh, I want to just... Eh.
I refuse to give up yet.
Huh. What did you do?
The body we found it wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it so the mastermind's true identity is...
What do you say, Monica?
I had it backwards. Yeah, I had to be because that's the only thing that fit.
The body we found in the garden wasn't Mukuro.
What the heck?
Then
I
she's
didn't
still
hold it.
alive? That's right.
I just
So
pressed
the
it.
mastermind's true identity is...
What do you say, Monica?
The body we found it wasn't Mukuro.
Oh, come on,
Then
they
she's still...
shot it.
That's right.
That's
So
some
the
bullcrap.
mastermind's true identity is...
What do you say, Monica?
The body we found it wasn't Mukuro.
No, that's
Shoot!
okay.
The body we found it wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still...
That's right. So the mastermind's true identity is...
No.
Mukuro!
Shoot!
The body we found in the garden, it wasn't Mukuro.
That's funny. There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I am so stupid. That's
No, the body we
weird.
found in the garden was Mukuro.
Well, have fun with
That's
that.
one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Like the opposite of who you thought. It was Sayaka. She's the mastermind behind everything. No. It was Jinko.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive.
So
It's the
Predator
only
fucked this shit up
possibility.
now.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes.
It's called this disguise.
If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade.
It's called a disguise.
But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Did that absolutely all I can say for it. Yeah, I know I know Junko has a twin. It's Mukuro. I also know that Junko has an AI and that she has a crazy little girl who loves her. I played another
She
episode.
was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
And after this I will play Danganronpa too.
So, the idea that she's still alive...
It must
Because
be
I fucking hate Kameda.
wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud.
Like, the irony of this though, in each of the group pictures, Junko's face is hidden. Like, why?
Too
Not
bad,
that
too
very
bad.
different from how her sister looks. Kind of different, but not that different.
This case hasn't been decided just yet. Oh? You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Of course not.
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
because she was never in the game. She was just the mastermind. Yeah. Like, I know a lot about the series. I just, you know, like to play the game because there's stuff I haven't seen that spoilers don't tell. Like how this all goes together. This is so obvious. Replaced.
Now I understand. That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switch places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Correct.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
Yes, but
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
it's called twins.
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that?
Also, Monica is such a little bitch. And Jinko's up to be an even more bigger bitch.
Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
That's funny.
Good point. There's
Nope, to
just
what?
no way they could have
Exactly.
switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
It's I am gat. It's not that I'm gay. It's I'm a got. No, that's not how that works. But nice try. If you are gay. They switched at the
I
beginning.
got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met?
Mukuro Ikusaba, also known as Mukuro Inoshima.
It's actually Mukuro all along?
Yep,
Then we'd already met her?
yep.
I had, like, a normal conversation with her.
Define normal.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference.
Correct.
That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Especially if you factored in the fact that you all have amnesia.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right?
It's called makeup, people.
Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
Because people have makeup.
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished.
Yeah, To me, it reminds me of Bleach. You know, Byakuya. Byakuya.
Plus, there were the fake
So, he
nails
has
found on the
nothing to do with
hands of
Sakura
Mukuro's
Petals.
body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto.
Right.
But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
Yep.
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
Well, they are twins.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
To despair.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
Yep. One of them.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
Ironically, the protagonist of the second game is also the ultimate despair because of brainwashing.
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense.
Ironically, Byakuya
Junko's
from
my
Bleach and
secret
Byakuya
identity.
from this game are both rich. And arrogant.
As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
Shoot!
Yeah.
I got it!
Let's of course, you're the one who wants
While
the
I was in
despair.
the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster,
Everyone's video turned up except Junko's. It wasn't just the monitor, the DVD player itself apparently turned off. Which of course meant the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck happened? Blah blah blah. Y'all heard it before.
you made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that
With Junko's video was
is
coming
because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
up. Doesn't look that different from
Oh,
Mukuro.
yeah! If everyone was in that video, of
Yeah.
course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke!
You know, it's kind of funny. They referenced this in the very beginning of the game where he's like, "You look different from your photos." It's like, yeah, there's Photoshop and stuff. Truth. That's my sister. Now the pictures will come into play.
What? What do you want? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? You're getting all riled up! That's impossible!
It's ironic because he's a robot and controlled.
What? What do you want? That's impossible!
This should prove it.
love how it doesn't show you those choices as if to trick you into thinking the first one was it.
The video wasn't the only thing you tried to cover up.
It's the
You
group
did the same
photos.
thing with this group photo.
All of them, actually.
Oh.
Yep.
I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we'd gotten.
Jingo's face is hidden in each.
In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
She made it so she wouldn't be seen. Jingo's face.
I got it! Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face. It's hard to believe her face
Because
would
she's
just
a bitch.
happen to be hidden
The one
in every single
she's being
picture.
covered by
Don't
a
you
hand.
think?
Another, she's looking out the window. Another, she's being flashed. There's only one where she's talking to someone.
And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind,
See,
there's
she's
no
being
doubt
covered,
the
but she's
girl
not
whose
talking.
face is hidden here is the real Junko, which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Not entirely.
Xanadu!
Xanadu? What the hell does Xanadu mean?
I believe everything
Get
Makoto
on.
said is true.
And you look this up.
Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
Weird.
So she killed
Nothing.
Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko
Yep.
is still alive.
Ding 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 ding.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation.
The killing
This
game.
killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
Xanadu times two!
Seriously, stop saying Xanadu. That doesn't make any sense.
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
No, wait, hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere. I'll prove everything. Right now.
Bum, bum. Time for a brainstorm. I hate these. This is so complicated.
Here's exactly what happened.
Hopefully.
We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko Enoshima, right after we all arrived here.
I would believe that.
But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusawa. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the
It's
mastermind...
so complicated because the pictures rarely
Junko
don't
and
really tell you what's in them.
Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue, until Junko decided to put her body to use.
Something done.
Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school.
No. I get it.
The killer is you! Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive. So she put on her mask and then attacked
put down on the head.
After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was her putting the mask on Mukuro. That was stupid of me. It should have been obvious if I just looked at it.
Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place.
Taboo!
Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence.
I'm kind of surprised she somehow took the bomb all the way from the gym to the roof, the garden, like, how?
She needed to hide the body's true identity.
Took that bomb away.
She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder. And the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma.
That's not how you do it. It's Allah Akbar. Junko.
The real Junko Enoshima.
Bum bum bum.
That's the whole story behind this incident.
Yep.
Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
Yeah, she's just coming down.
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Obviously the reason why he's not talking is because she's coming down.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
She is. You realize how far away the control room from this place is?
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long
Like
do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
He's coming down, people.
Over?
Or not. Damn. I was hoping.
Did you really think the story would end once we reached the
We still need to
climax
figure
of
out
the
the
case?
mystery.
Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
There's still the mysteries, remember? Oh, now she's coming. In a matter of seconds, somehow. Junko Inashima, Ultimate Despair. You look exactly like your sister.
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear.
Nice crown. Also, hey, look at that. She's basically saying, hey, Shirokuma and Kurokuma are gonna be a thing because of her pendants.
If you swear your fealty to us,
Which are funny because they're
we will
her AI.
reward you with half of the entire world!
No.
We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, in some of our home cooking.
You sound like a cunt.
Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
Sure! No.
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you.
I kind of figured.
It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
She sounds so high. What is wrong with your voice? This is the mastermind? She's the real Junko Inashima? There's a difference between Junko and Toko. Toko has a method to her madness. Junko just does it for fun. And despair. She wants despair. She created the incident just to cause the world to fall into pieces.
Anyway,
Because it was
looks
fun.
like I've finally been set free.
Seriously, you sound high as fuck.
Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day. It was like I was stuck in purgatory, or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
What's funny is he also played as Shirokuma and Kurokuma. Good people. Well, two bots.
Face.
Huh?
What about my
What about my face?
It's all about that face. About that face. About trouble. It's all about
What's
the
wrong
face.
with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
That's debatable. Well, some chihuahuas are that cute.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
Of course not. No, I don't remember seeing it. Or seen it recently.
I got it! That's right. It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover.
I don't know.
And you were on it.
It's like My Little Pony Equestria Girls 2. They somehow put all that hair into hoods. It doesn't make sense. But hey, it's anime logic. Don't question it.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall
Well,
when this
what
all began.
Mukuro told me, not her. I've seen her on tons of magazine covers, but I feel like that doesn't match up to reality. Huh? Oh, are you talking about my cover photos and junk? Well, of course. Those are all totally photoshopped. Or they're my sister, because I have a sister. Did you know I'm a twin? Photoshopped? Yeah, you know, to hell and back. No comparison junk? That is complete bullshit. I am lying out my fucking ass. My nice, tight little ass. Oh, so they're not real. They are. Just my sister.
Sometimes a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
Sort of.
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
Yep.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist.
You know, it's funny. She says two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. But the irony of that is, Shirokuma and Kurokuma are technically two different things, but they make up one person per AI, which of course comes into play in Danganronpa number 2. And somehow she and Mukuro come back in Danganronpa 3, because, you know, that makes complete sense.
Not even if they're twins.
Twins?
That should have been obvious!
I know. It's such a cliche, right?
This whole game's
I'm
a
almost
cliche.
embarrassed to admit it.
Yeah, you seem really embarrassed. You can tell by your monotone voice and everything.
So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship.
I hardly call that stereotypical.
The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima!
And now she's a rock star. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get show on. Go play.
And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the Ultimate Despair!
Don't you mean Ultra Despair Girls? No, it's Toko and Kimaru, but it's the same concept.
Whoa! She's a totally different person now!
Duh.
Like I said, I get bored easy as hell! I had to get fucking bored with myself!
So do I.
But if you're twins, why do you have different last names?
Hello, cover-ups.
Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit? Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it bores me to tears. Answering the same questions over and over?
I know how you feel, Junko. I know how you feel. The Rick Star? Also, is it just me or does Junko act like she's autistic? Because I'm autistic and I don't like being asked questions over and over and over and over. It's annoying.
Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
I know how you feel. I really know how you feel. I am sympathizing with the fucking psychopath right now. It's not the first time.
But if she was your twin, that means you killed your own sister?
She doesn't care.
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if!
Fun fact, the reason she killed her sister is because she liked Makoto. She fell in love with him because she's the first person to ever smile at her. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, I suppose I'd better explain.
And now she's a school teacher.
For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scenes.
Yourself.
The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties.
Makes sense.
Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family.
Says the black sheep.
Leaving
Or
me
blonde
behind
sheep.
to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment.
Yeah. Unlike you, she was more interested in her own hobbies.
So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life.
And then murder her.
I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way.
Well, to be fair, I think the shade is kind of introduced in another episode because, remember, all the kids had different, instead of the rings, they had different
Besides,
shapes.
15 students seemed like a solid number to start with.
Rather than, it was introduced in another episode.
Of course, the
With
fact
the
that she was the
heroes
ultimate
of-
soldier posed
Oh.
something of a problem. She had what I
So,
call
yeah,
the three
makes sense.
atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy,
atrociously repulsive.
Funny, you fit all three to me too.
It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society.
You're one to talk.
Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause.
You know, Jinko, here's a question. What is your real personality? I doubt we've seen it.
She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra, unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away.
She cared about you.
Which is precisely why I killed her. To meet
Your
everyone's
older sister
expectations.
cared about you, and you killed her.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know?
Now she's like Monica. At least before she turns...
If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring.
Gee, I wonder where Monica gets her charming personality.
So, I changed things just a bit and decided to use Mukuro to make a little point.
In other words, Mukuro's
billion
death was
points.
a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal.
Yep.
Just as I suspected.
How did you suspect that?
When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
Yep. I mean, I expect your own sister, who you care and want to be happy, to kill you. What? Uh-huh. That wasn't supposed to... Why me?
So, you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance.
Yeah, she was stoic.
But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
How can you talk like that?
Because she doesn't care.
You sacrificed your own sister. How does that not even bother you?
Because she doesn't care.
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the collar? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary.
Scary. So scary.
We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. Nope. I felt despair as long as I can remember.
Isn't
Like I never
despair
should have been born at all.
Isn't hoping for despair kind of like, you know, hope? In a sick, twisted way.
When I was born, I cried tears of total despair.
Actually, I didn't know Jinko's actual real personality because
So that's
Chokuma
why
and
for us,
Kurokuma
it's not
talk
a
with
big
it.
deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything.
Well, it's like light and darkness. In light there's darkness, and darkness there's light. In hope there's despair, and in despair there's hope. You can't have one without the other. So, in a sense, hope begets despair, and despair begets hope, I guess.
We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something,
Can't
we
have
go
one without the
all
other.
the way and live without regret.
As soon as you grow hope very high, despair just causes it to crash all the way down.
So you just murdered your own sister and didn't think anything of it?
She doesn't care.
That's not true at all.
And now she's an emo.
We were twins. How could I not be sad?
What's with the mushrooms? What the fuck is with the fucking mushrooms in her fucking hair?
That's why it gets me so excited.
Oh my god, she's erotica.
Killing my precious sister with my own two hands. That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but put a super in front of it.
Yeah, he sounds so super.
It's like super, 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 super despair.
She just needs an outfit like...
More than that.
She needs an outfit like Celeste, and she would have the perfect fit for that personality.
Super, 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 super despair.
She sounds... How did he not notice what?
It just feels so good.
That's disgusting.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And my sister, too. In that moment of death, I think she must have felt that despair. After all, to be murdered by your own sister, and only as an example to someone else.
You didn't notice the mushrooms. That's depressing.
She must have died feeling such excruciating hopelessness.
Like, wait. Power mushroom, poison mushroom, one-up mushroom. What's the black mushroom supposed to be? Just a shiitake?
I'm so jealous of her. Super jealous.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormality.
It's called detention, identity deficit disorder, or deficit, yeah, you get
Turning
it.
your own despair into some kind of fetish. Abnormality doesn't even begin to describe it.
That's quite right.
Like, Genocide Jill is crazy for sure.
Genocide Show.
But this is a whole nother level of nuts.
Honestly, I like Genocide Show better because, you know, it's the original translation of the name and just kind of makes it better because Genocide Jack sounds like you're Jack the Ripper, which is sort of the same.
You're saying I don't compare to some lowly beast that can only kill the weak, right?
Everything about this game is nuts. These nuts.
So I'm hopelessly attractive, hopelessly brilliant, hopelessly athletic.
Why not all three?
I'm the hopelessly perfect ultimate human.
No. I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you've just said.
Except insanity. That's pretty perfect.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect. Because on top of everything else,
Toko,
he's got
shove
that
a dick up your
noble
ass.
blood.
Don't you mean had that noble blood?
What did you just say? What do you mean by that?
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys
And now she's
are
Monokuma.
slow! You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are, yapping away!
Are you talking about our memories?
You've already solved this mystery, right? I'm the killer! So how about the next one?
She has a point.
Maybe you should solve the riddle of your missing memories.
It's funny,
then you
Monokuma.
can start gloating.
Monokuma makes it look like they're actually bigger than that, but they're not.
Damn straight! That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to solve all these mysteries.
Or die trying.
And then we'll have our victory!
I can't wait.
You know, Junko's kind of growing on me.
All right,
Even
then
though
let's
she's
just
a
get
bitch.
straight to the point. What memories did you steal from us?
When the group pictures were taken, and those interviews, it must mean...
An entire year of school.
I got it! It must have something to do with our entrancing exams.
That's what you got from this. Nope.
No fair! At least give us a hint!
Your brains are like sponges, all drippy and
it's gone.
leaky. I already gave you a hint before. All the memories you lost share something in common with a few other things. Do you recall?
The motives.
I got it! You're talking about the motives you provided to try and get us to kill each other, right?
Ding, ding, ding.
So you do remember after all.
And she's
Well,
back to this girl.
I would hope you wouldn't forget something so important. It was stupid of me to even ask. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for my bad manners.
No, you don't.
So then, let me ask you another question. Did you notice that each motive I presented you had a specific theme to it?
Family, money, betrayal. What was the second motive? Secrets.
Theme?
Yep, you got it. So that's my question to you all. When Sayaka was murdered, what was the theme of the motive I presented?
Family. Hope is despair. Black hope, white despair. Kurokuma, Shirokuma. She is both hope and despair. She is the hope of her existence and the despair of everyone else's. Connections.
I got it! The driving force behind the motive you presented us with at that point was human connections.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Remember those DVDs I gave you guys? Each video showed the total destruction of your most important relationships.
Sakura's mother, husband, and family. Hagakare's mother.
For example, I ruined all those relationships and showed you the results.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have hope without despair, and despair without hope. Kinko is what she hates the most, and she's also what she loves the most. That's probably why she's so insane.
It was to motivate your desire to escape and kickstart your urge to kill. But still, what a cruel thing to do.
Like you care.
You're the one that did it!
Yes, well, I'm perfectly happy to accept your disapproval.
Okay! Time for the next question!
Should I do school mode after this, or should I just jump into Danganronpa 2? Like, school mode doesn't really do anything, but it'd be interesting.
So, what was the theme for the second motive?
For the second motive, the motive's theme was... That's when I got those weird little envelopes that had all those... The past.
I got it! It was
Our
past, right?
Yay! Makoto got it right again! That time, the theme was...
Of course it matters. Nothing matters, but everything does.
Embarrassing memories and secrets! Yeah! And the whole reason Mondo did what he did was to protect his secret.
Yeah, the fact that he killed his brother.
So, how long do you plan on dragging this out?
Relax, relax. Okay, on to the next question. So, what was the motive for the third murder?
Money.
I got it! It was money, wasn't it? Greed.
Seek and destroy! Hell yeah, you got it again! Goddamn straight it was money! Celeste killed Hifumi and Taka for a little personal gain. Her greed led to all kinds of death and destruction.
What's the point of all this? Why are you making us go through this case by case?
Don't worry, sweet cheeks. Just one more to go. Now, can you tell me the motive behind crazy-ass Sakura's crazy-ass death?
Guilt.
I got it! In her case, it was betrayal.
Precisely. You see, once I revealed Sakura's betrayal, that led to everything that came afterwards. Anyway, it looks like you answered all of my questions correctly. How painfully delightful.
But what's the point? What meaning is there in asking those questions now?
Relationships? Secrets? Money? Betrayal? These are all pretty standard motives, right?
True.
The most normal of normal. Totally middle of the road.
But of course, those aren't the only motives that exist in this world. In fact, there are as many reasons to kill as there are people on Earth. They compel humans to kill each other, bringing despair to the world. This is what we refer to as the seed of despair.
Wouldn't that just be, semen? Because The only despair you can bring onto yourself is having children.
Seed of despair?
Just as water, air, and food promote growth in living things, the seed of despair also needs nourishment. And that nourishment is hope. Despair can grow only in the presence of hope.
Hope begets despair. Despair begets hope. You can't have one without the other.
Two sides of the same coin, divided by a razor-thin line.
Black hope
Such is
and
hope and
white
despair.
How much longer is this stupid speech of yours? Weren't we discussing our missing memories? Why are you trying to change the subject?
She's not. She actually isn't.
If you would listen, you would see I'm not changing the subject. We are discussing your memories. What I'm trying to say is, the seed of despair is closely tied to your own memories.
How so?
You see, by taking away your memories, I gave you hope.
Hope that there was.
Of course, that hope merely existed to be consumed by despair.
How could taking away someone's memories give them hope?
And plus, you haven't given us any hope anyway!
Yeah, I try. Also, Taboo King is too old. Call me Soul. Soul is my typical prefer, but I go by Soul.
Is that so?
It's
All
on
you've
my
been able to
picture.
think about during your time here is how to
Well,
escape,
picture on
right?
my YouTube channel.
The mere fact that that's what you want proves I gave you hope.
What are you talking about?
If none of you wanted to escape this school, the killings never would have taken place.
Yeah, the point.
That is why we took your memories,
We.
so that you would have the desire to leave.
The only reason we want to leave is because you took our memories.
Correctamundo!
Which means if we did have our memories, then we wouldn't want to leave. Do I understand that right?
Yep.
What? Why the hell would having our memories make us not want to leave?
Because you would have known about the incident. The reason why you got sealed up in the first place.
A most troubling thought, isn't it?
Yep.
But it's not enough. I want more distress, more despair. I put so much effort into creating hope in order to feed your despair and make it grow.
Can we get back to the trial part?
So,
That's
just
fun.
like Crazy Eddie slashing his prices and passing the savings on to you, let me give you a hint.
Huh? Really? Then hurry up and tell us.
Okie dokie. Like they say, seeing is believing. I'd like for you to see the outside world.
The outside world?
You mean the world beyond the school walls?
No, he means that world outside of that. He wants to show you space. He wants to show you space.
So something really did happen out there.
Now are
Yep.
you interested in what I have to say? You want to see what's out there?
Hell.
I want to see too. See your faces sink into despair. Now then, open sesame! Behold, the world beyond the school walls! This is the outside world you've all been so anxious to claw your way back into.
Oh boy. Monokuma's everywhere. It's just like Toa City. Yeah, we all do. Toa City wasn't an isolated event. Of course, that happens after this, so it's just a remnant of what happened during the incident. Except the kids. Because you know that's fair.
Dangerous. The world has grown so very dangerous.
Seriously, where did she get
That's
the
what this
mushrooms?
means.
What are you talking about? None of this makes any sense!
Welcome to the incident.
What am I looking at?
This is a scene from a movie or something, right?
What you just saw, All of you should recognize it.
Recognize it? About it should recognize. This whole thing is insane.
That world is locked away within the memories that were taken from you. If you can't remember, please just try. Do your best to try and recall.
Better kick your brain in the ass, because it's up to that gray lump whether you live or die. I don't remember ain't a fucking excuse no more, because now it's time for the final class trial!
The class trial has already been going. This is just the main event. Inside Jack's memory, photos of Kyoko and the headmaster.
Come on, bitches! Remember or die! What the fuck happened outside?
You want us to remember or whatever, but when it comes to that crazy confusing video you showed us, I don't understand a damn thing!
I actually brought this
What's
up
the meaning
earlier.
of the footage we saw? Is
Inside
this
Jack
another one of
should
your
know
practical
this,
jokes?
because he doesn't share the
You're
same
telling
as
us to
Toko.
remember, but what am I supposed to be remembering?
Nobody can remember anything.
Inside Jack,
No,
the
it's
show,
wrong.
whatever you want to call it. Only she would remember because she
Actually,
is out.
She might remember.
Who might remember?
You should know.
The other Toko,
Genocide
Genocide
show.
Jack. The two of them share certain kinds of knowledge, but their memories aren't linked, right?
I see. If their memories are separate, then even if one personality is forgotten, there's a chance the other may still have those memories.
What do you say, Toko?
Are you telling me to swap places with her?
All you have to do is sneeze.
No! Absolutely not! That'd be like forfeiting my entire identity!
You do it with a snap of the finger, well, a sneeze of the fingers.
Toko, you're the only one we can rely on.
Okay, Master. She just does it when he tells her to. Oh, what love does to you.
Da, 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 da! It's me, your friendly neighborhood serial killer!
This is why I love her.
Boy, she just gave in like it was nothing.
Well, that's Byakuya we're talking about.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to have it answered immediately. Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right now.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet ya!
Oh, God damn it.
Nice to meet you too.
This is so serious, but it's so funny at the same time. It's like playing this guy up, except with murder and despair and all that.
That's enough! Just look at the stupid screen!
Aye, aye! Roger, you got it, Captain!
I can't stop laughing at the stupidity.
Well, does it look familiar?
I don't have all the details, but... Of course it does!
Then you remember all the stuff it's showing?
More or
Of
less.
course I do!
Of course I do!
So you didn't lose your memory after all.
Oh, sweet.
Then why didn't you say something earlier?
She did. How would she know that
I only answer
better?
questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know?
You're not quiet at all.
Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the world.
Yeah, she is.
More importantly, if you really do remember, what is it?
Huh? What's the matter, Master? Do you really not remember the tragedy?
Nope.
A tragedy?
Oh no! Seriously forgot? Maybe I can help you remember.
No.
Kiss.
No.
Just
No.
answer the question.
Well, I can't really say if it happened or if it's still happening.
It's both.
But it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
What?
Why is that phrase coming up now?
Because it's all because of that event. What is? Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is now.
Is... now?
The world's been destroyed, get it?
More or less. I mean, it's still around. It's just The apocalypse.
Destroyed?
Explain yourself. Tell us everything you know.
War, war, war. War is the cause of all problems.
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened about a year ago.
More or less.
It was so big and so bad that even this murderous fiend went pale at the sight of it.
That's what she said.
I guess you could say what happened was man-made.
Yeah.
But it was more on the level of a worldwide natural disaster. Either way, there's no doubt that it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Why does it look like that car is exploding from the inside?
And
That
as
makes
a
no
result,
sense.
in basically no time
Unless
flat,
that's the airbag.
the world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
That's all there is to it? Come on! There wasn't a single concrete description in there!
What did you expect from her?
Well, it just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss Moreau saw it all play out in real time, so why don't you ask her?
She doesn't remember either.
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
I couldn't live up to Master's expectations!
I love how she looks like Coco at that point.
Die! This is the total tragedy!
Only for you.
Okay, that's enough of your little lover's quarrel.
It's hardly a lover's quarrel. It's more of a horror and I don't care about anything but myself quarrel.
Whatever happened, it doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right?
It kind of does.
The end justifies the means. Everything serves the outcome. In other words,
The end justified the means. They referenced something from Phoenix Wright.
the world has ended. That's the important thing.
How can the world just end? It's the world!
Calm down. It's okay. There's no need to panic.
Just look at me. I don't care about
Every
anything.
living person will be dead in 100 years anyway.
More
So
or
the
less.
world ending isn't that big a deal.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous, I have another ridiculous story to tell you. It's the story of the Tagami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life all its meaning.
What? What did you say?
Oh my god.
I'm glad to see you took the bait. You bit into it like a middle-aged secretary at an all-you-can-eat cake buffet.
That's terrible.
Hey! So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
Gee, I wonder what the answer is. It could be any of them, and I don't know which. Obviously, it's that.
Correct. Well done, peasant.
But I didn't say anything yet.
I just got so fucking bored waiting, I couldn't help it. Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles.
So, no matter what you pick, you get the right answer. Pretty innovative,
Just Monica,
don't you
just
think?
Monica, just Monica.
But do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy, I mean. Do you think I might be sick?
That doesn't even begin to explain you.
Anyway, like I was saying, Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
Except for his butler, which is in Toa City.
What? What the hell are you
some
talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family
Actually, I
has
never
died.
listened.
Even the distant relatives. The Tagami name has perished.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Stop! And said with such authority. A peasant would dare challenge us?
Can't find when
the
you think about the
avatar of
fact that
divine
Monica-
punishment?
It's funny that when you think about it, that Monokuma was first designed to be a maid robot, but obviously that was just a ploy to make it mass-produced, so they could create an army without the Toa company noticing. Also, they put a fucking 8-year-old girl in charge of the fucking robotics division just because she was crippled. I did air quotes there.
You must learn your place, peasant. You are no longer the ultimate affluent progeny.
They couldn't possibly be gone! The Togami family is destined to guide the world!
That's arrogant.
Hell, there is no world anymore, remember? It got fucked a full year ago.
Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. In a corrupt kind of way.
Huh? I don't make sense.
There's no way that happened a year ago. I mean, we only came to this school a few weeks ago.
No, he came here a year ago. It just felt like a few weeks because your memories were erased, you fucking idiot.
If some kind of world-ending event happened a year ago, then how do you explain the totally normal world we were living in up till then?
Because it wasn't that same either.
Have you considered the possibility that you're mistaken?
Mistaken?
Well, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you arrived here.
In reality, it happened a year.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like he said, we just got here a few weeks ago.
It's so funny how they forget about their amnesia.
A few weeks ago? Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently, right?
Huh? 2 years ago?
Well, I mean, you guys all started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was only 1 year ago.
What the hell is this chick trying to say?
So I guess that makes more sense.
I understand why you'd have trouble accepting it, but in the end, you can't deny the
Because the
truth.
tragedy happened a year ago, it would have happened while they started attending.
And
so,
the
yeah.
truth is, everything is cause and effect. Deny that, and you may as well give yourself up to God.
Okay, give up myself to you. Oh, wait.
So, you must surely understand all the hints I've given you so far, right? What are the memories I took from you?
Come now, answer us. Answer with all your... How are we supposed to answer?
I just don't know what's going on anymore.
It's easy to figure out.
I got it! If we accept that what you say is true,
But you have to.
then we've all lost our memories of the last 2 years after coming to this school.
Recommendo.
Nope. No. I mean, no matter what anyone says,
Another correct answer. Well done, peasant.
Seriously? This routine again?
We've lost 2 years worth of memories?
Yep.
That's right. You've already spent 2 full years here at Hope's Peak Academy. And that entire period of time is precisely what you've forgotten.
I don't remember the last 2 years of my life. That's not possible!
It's very possible. There we go. Pop my jaw. Time for an argument. For some reason. Pocketbook. Good photo of my headmaster, master's handbook, locker notebook.
2 years worth of memories.
I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years? Hell no! That's impossible! I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything! Heck, I've never even gone to a single class!
No, that's wrong! Hero, there's something I'd like you to take a look at. This notebook right here.
Huh? Hey, why's my name written on it?
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you don't mind, could you take a look inside?
Sure, whatever you want. But I've never seen this notebook before in my life.
That you know of anyways, obviously.
What's up? Is something wrong?
kinda similar. No, even more than that. This is absolutely my handwriting, without a doubt!
No
But
shit,
how is this?
Sherlock.
I don't remember ever writing in this thing!
They really need to catch up faster.
No way!
It looks like you actually did attend class here at Hope's Peak. But somehow, you forgot all about it.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
My life's a lie.
I don't want to believe it either.
But it's true.
But there's also no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
First,
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. There's no doubt about it. But just like Hiro, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years of missing memories?
yep.
After seeing all the evidence, do you have any choice but to acknowledge the truth?
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery's solved, but it's like a goddamn funeral in here! Shit, man! I've never been to a funeral! Hell yes!
2 years of school life. How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on?
All of them.
How many fun classes? How many school events? This was your chance to build lasting friendships, right? And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Okay, we get it. Just say the tragedy.
Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair, but then you forgot it all.
Just to give way to hope.
And once you've forgotten, you made the choice to subject yourselves to this killing game.
For fun.
Oh, and there's one other thing. To be even more precise, the memories you all lost were...
Actually, never mind. I'm bored. Explaining stuff is boring.
What?
We are bored of this world!
I've been bored of this world since I was born.
Everyone always talks big, declaring all the great things they'll do. But then they always fizzle out. This world is just so desperately fucking boring!
What are you talking about?
In a way, I'm jealous of all of you. To give yourself over so completely to such stimulating despair.
Yeah, so figure out the rest for yourselves! I'm sick of expositioning all this shit!
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Figure out what?
Figure out where your memories come apart. That's at the heart of all of this.
Now that's dumb. When
I
paint
got it! The moment I lost my memory. I can't... When I first came to the gates of this school and stepped foot in the main hall. When I passed out, I was overcome with a strange sensation.
like you were on shrooms or LSD.
Wow, you still have enough spirit to keep on talking, huh? So I don't know much about the details, but it seems like everyone remembers passing out, right? And your sense of time got all messed up because of the memory loss after that? I guess it must have been something like that.
After I passed out, I woke up in a classroom with my head on the desk. I assumed not much time had passed since I'd collapsed in the main hall.
In reality,
The reason it felt so short was because our memories of the time in between had been completely removed.
You got it, honey. 2 years of memories? Poof! Gone! Which means, of course...
When everyone met for the first time, it wasn't actually for the first time.
Yep.
Unaware of this fact, you took the time to introduce yourselves to each other, but
by that point, we'd already spent 2 years together at the school. That's what those photos reveal, isn't it?
Yep, that's what they reveal. You were all such close friends. You spent 2 years together, and then you started killing each other. And it was all so you could escape into a world that's already been annihilated. What a terribly tragic tale. Even if you left now, there's nothing you could do to fix it.
Ironic.
You're the one who set things up to be like this!
I love you all so much.
What?
Once your school life here began, I thought about you constantly. It's only natural that I would fall in love.
This is hardly love. This is more of an
So, since I
obsession.
love you guys so much, I'll tell you all about it. All about the idea we came up with as the ultimate despair. Our plan to bring despair to all mankind. Let's go back in time 2 years, okay? Back to when everyone first came to this school. School life during that first year overflowed with hope and happiness. Oh boy, it was just the worst. Everyone was enjoying themselves so much. You were all having the time of your lives.
But that couldn't last forever, of course. The peacefulness only made it through that first year. Because after that, an event unfolded that hammered a soul-crushing despair into all of humanity. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
The tragedy.
The tragedy. All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end. And as you can imagine, the school was no exception. The tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
What are you?
A monster.
What do you mean?
The most tragic event in human history. And the ultimate despair that caused it. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated family?
You have a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an ideological thing. Despair is contagious, you know. It's almost like
Especially if you're
a
brainwashed
natural
people.
phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it. And now the entire world has fallen into despair.
In other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway, unrelated to the matter at hand.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much damage. You guys were the only survivors.
Well, it's not completely true.
The members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left.
After all, there's the kids in the second game that went to Jabberwock Island.
And then,
Though
something
they
super
didn't
neat
at this
happened!
point, because obviously there were two that were in Toa City.
Now pay
At least one
attention,
came to
because
Toa
this is
City
important,
afterwards.
and I'm only gonna say it once! So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter! That's right! It was transformed into a shelter! Ah, I said it twice!
Now, someone was responsible for that transformation, for creating what would eventually become your prison. Do any of you know who that might have been?
Us.
I got it! Could only have been the headmaster. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us. To protect us from the despair. That's why he asked us to make that promise. To say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh start.
Yeah, the headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake.
Because you and the girl were already in it.
It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you safe became a cage that made it impossible for you to escape despair.
Ironic, isn't it?
I have to say, it really helped me out a lot. It saved me a ton of time.
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off the windows, the doors, all the exits. Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
Yep.
And then you forgot all about it and started bitching about how you were trapped in here.
Ironic.
Once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get to work. And
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the last 2 years waiting for that moment.
That moment where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy was so that you could be a part of it.
Let us
Elena, keep going.
so we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because it's fun.
Because this was so much more than a simple high school death match. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
What are you saying?
Well, it would seem that there's a little bit left out there. Few souls unwilling to give up hope. So I thought I should show
future
them,
foundation.
which is why
well, why don't you tell me?
Hijack.
Now I understand. You're talking about you hijacking the airwaves, aren't you?
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I'm talking about. To show the world the murders taking place at this school, which was meant to be a symbol of hope.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about. The world watched as you fell into despair and began to kill each other one after another. Despair is as contagious as any disease, any hope left turns to despair.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people have tried to come and rescue you.
Are you serious?
But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed around the school grounds, I had no problem expelling them.
Expelled them?
Yeah. Get them out of school, that's all that she meant. She didn't kill them or anything.
I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and trying to force their beliefs on the world. But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair. Death.
So you just used us? To bring despair to everyone in the outside world?
Yep.
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
Give and take? You're so full of shit!
And there's a reason I chose you guys to survive when all the other students were dropping like flies.
Their abilities.
I mean, we built up 2 years of memories together. You were all my...
Sorry, that's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more when you found out a friend had betrayed you.
And that's the truth, which is what you wanted, right? You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
Don't tell me. Did you seriously count on the possibility that we would solve your mystery?
And if we did, then what? Our final desire for creating this world of despair was so we could experience one last class trial. If you were bold enough to solve the mystery, only to discover that the truth was utterly hopeless, how would you react? What would you do?
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair, too!
Not to mention, all those motives I talked about were totally meaningless. I mean, with the world having ended and all.
None of it mattered.
Meaningless? Then we've been murdering each other? For nothing?
And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering each other to get out.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates. We'd spent 2 years together.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
You're totally awesome, right? We get it already! Don't help us! I'll do anything! Just help me!
A peasant begging for his life? Oh, how delightful! We've never witnessed such a travesty firsthand.
But I'm sorry to say, begging doesn't work on me. All I want is despair, and there's no reason for it. And since there's no reason, there's no argument against it. There's just no understanding it. No argument, no understanding. What better definition of ultimate
Wait, hold on. You've just been going on about whatever you feel like, but there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself, so I don't acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another. In other words, you're not unlike Schrodinger's cat right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
If so, what then?
Are you saying you won't accept the truth until you can go outside and see for yourself? Well, you better not. You go out into that world and you're all goners for sure.
Nope.
Trust me, I'm not lying about any of this.
Well, even if it's all true, I refuse to give in. I refuse to lose to you. For the sake of everyone you've killed.
Huh? Everyone I've killed? What are you talking about? You're the ones who killed them!
I didn't kill anyone. I simply gave you a little nudge in the right direction.
And that's all it took for you to start killing each other. You're nothing but bloodthirsty animals.
That's why anyone was murdered here, peasant.
Say what you want about hope, but we're all creatures of instinct, right? Despair comes naturally.
Hell yes! That's funny as shit!
No! This isn't just some game to us.
It is to me.
It's murder! Plain and simple! You stole our memories, invented reasons for us to do it. You pushed us all into a corner! It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, don't you? That must be your hope, huh? But we don't have much time left to keep up this banter. We have to draw things to a close soon.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. You didn't forget about that little rule, did ya? Oh, and also, since this will be the last vote, I decided to change the rules.
What?
You guys so full of hope, and me so full of despair. I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished. If even one of you votes to punish Hope, well then, I'll consider that a win for me, and punish everyone on the side of Hope.
Even if it's just one person?
Oh, but don't worry, I won't be voting, of course.
Good.
Even if you don't, you've still got the upper hand in all this!
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. When I win to punish you guys, you'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No fighting, no killing. That's your punishment.
Irony is that's the bad ending. Except they get kids and stuff. And Toko somehow dies.
You mean we just...
We'd have to just live here?
Forever.
She's saying she'll let us live.
You're an idiot.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists.
What are you saying? So no matter what, we're doomed!
Wait a sec! I just got hit with an inspiration bomb! Dying of old age is boring as shit, right? The audience at home isn't gonna dig that at all! So, here's what'll happen. One of you will get to experience an instant, super impressive punishment!
You.
What? You can't just...
Do you mean to say you'll execute one of us?
And I get to decide who's gonna have to suck it down!
Your mom.
Makoto, you're up!
Or it's Yatsuru's mom.
Me?
Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds...
So let me make this clear. Everyone, if a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the rest of you will live here in peace.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your lives.
What? Has your resolve softened? Don't you have faith in your friends?
No! That's not it!
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility of going against me.
Guys, it's so beautiful. Your lovely faces eroded by despair.
Besides, Yoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
What?
I mean, the headmaster's only wish was that all of you would... That's why he tried to trap you all here after all. The least you can do is try to honor your dead father's wishes.
Kyoko!
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So, who do you think's gonna give in? Whose despair is gonna sign your death warrant?
No one. Nobody's gonna give in to despair! We're not gonna lose to you!
So boring. Stubborn till the very end, huh? Well, that's fine. Then let's just hurry up and get it over with.
And now she has her voice.
It's time for the final vote. Everything will come to an end. Your stupid hope. And your stupid life!
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy. By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're okay in here is thanks to the air purifiers in the physics lab. If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
Me?
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting. So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you...
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end.
Don't lose hope now.
I see.
All my fortune-telling senses are telling me not to leave this place. But to live means moving forward, right? So even if it's hard, even if we're scared, we don't have any choice, do we? I want to keep on living. I want to open the next door. So that's why, no matter what, I need to get out of here! The whole fortune-telling thing doesn't matter anymore!
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of...
I've decided to have faith in myself.
By the way, the air outside is totally the only reason we're out is thanks to the air purifier.
Don't lose hope now.
I've been thinking about all this, and I was thinking, at a time like this, what would Sakura do? You only get stronger by taking adversity by the horns. Confront that thorny path with enthusiasm. That sounds like something she'd say, right?
Sort of.
No. I think that's definitely what she'd say. Which is why Yeah! I've made up my mind!
Hell yeah.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end. By the way, the only reason is thanks to the air. Say whatever you want. I've made if I die. The purifiers, in other words, as soon as the communal life you've all been living will come...
Don't lose hope now.
I don't care either way. I'm fine with whichever one is more interesting. Actually, I may not look like it, but I always hated school.
Don't we all?
Hell, no matter how I look, still hate it. Oh, but no matter what, Master has to come along with us.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end. By the way, the only reason is thanks to the air. Say whatever you want. If I die, in other words, the communal life you've all been...
I can keep on living as long as I have enough.
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death...
Don't lose hope now.
What's the matter? You're not actually trying to encourage me, are you? Ridiculous. It never even crossed my mind that I might give in to despair.
That's not what I
But
see.
don't misunderstand me. I couldn't care. I just have to keep my word. I swore I would end the life of the Mastermind. Besides, the Togami family isn't dead. So until I can restore the Togami family and bring it greater glory than it's ever known...
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end.
I decided to have...
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're up is thanks to the air purifier. Say whatever you want. I've made my decision. If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt.
It's
In
the
other
thing
words,
song.
as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end. I
can keep on living as long as I have my master's love!
All of you will have to go into the world outside, where only death and
I already said I would claim the mastermind's life. By whatever means.
So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you...
No, that was stupid of me.
Shoot!
I should have said, oh,
We won't give up!
of course that wouldn't actually matter.
As long as there's hope, we'll never give up!
If I were to die, that would be the answer. By the way, the only reason is thanks to the air. Say whatever you want if I die. In other words, the communal life you've all been living. I can keep on living! All of you will have to go into the world outside.
I already said I would claim the
So, will you just die?
Don't lose hope now!
Freak.
I didn't really know my father, so I can't pretend to know what he was thinking. But even if we're just connected by blood, he would never want us to abandon Makoto and choose to stay here. I can't explain why exactly. But if I'm sure of anything, I'm sure of that. Just because we don't actually know anything. Does that mean we can't understand? Could it be that... No, never mind. So, Makoto, I don't think you wound up at this school because you had good luck or bad luck. I think you came here for a different reason entirely. You came here to bring down the ultimate despair.
Before you even knew it.
You came here to confront despair without ever giving up. And if that's true, I think we could call you the ultimate hope. What do you think?
What the hell are you?
The ultimate hope.
So uncool. Your stupid faces, the stupid things you've said, the stupid way you all treat each other. It's all so uncool, so unhip. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! Lame, 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 lame!
The moment of truth.
You suck! What do you want? So uncool! You dare to stand against us? Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Your innocence here.
You're gross. Suffer from despair.
I just love despair!
You suck! What do you want? So uncool! You're unbearable! Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Would you like to die?
You're gross. Suffer from despair. Everything is pointless! Suffer from despair.
I just love despair!
Despair into tomorrow.
Hope keeps on going!
Stop, bitch.
I refuse to give up! I refuse to get bored! I refuse to throw it all away! I refuse to despair! Because all I have going for me is the desire to keep moving forward!
What's going on? What's happening?
Easy. But now.
It looks like we've reached the end. I think it may be time to vote.
We just gotta pull the lever, right?
Good!
Let's put an end to these trials. Put an end to the killing. With our own hands.
One. Boom, boom, boom. You're a guilty party. You are to die. Boom, boom.
The hell?
Indeed.
You've lost, Junko.
I lost?
I lost. Me No way.
Well, that's just...
Can't be. You still don't accept it? Even the ultimate despair herself is vulnerable to the onslaught of despair, it would seem.
What the heck?
But there's no use trying to fight it now.
Well, that's just... totally the best!
Ew.
So this is despair.
We came to this school 2 years ago, creating our own incredibly detailed plan. And you killed my own sister for it.
And now I...
To come this far and fail at the very end.
True despair.
The ultimate despair. What are you talking about?
And now I...
You see, I was so hopelessly desperate. I was so bored. The world I when I was born. That's why I've been looking forward to this desperately. With so many months in a lifetime experience. It's my first and last colossal despair. At the moment of death. To have the chance to taste of the highest grade despair. The utter failure of my dreams.
True despair.
And I'm so hopelessly happily right now.
Huh?
She's enjoying this.
Anyway,
So you'd be prepared to admit defeat. You think I care whether I won or lost? Either way, it doesn't change the thing.
Totally the
Inside is only despair. Inside is only despair. No matter where you go, despair waits you. That's not true.
Not possible.
You're wrong. Huh?
Don't make me repeat
Let me
myself.
tell you this right now. We no longer fear despair.
Okay.
Because we decided to enter the outside world with hope. Danganronpa.
hey. However,
No.
Stop it. Stop. I hate those faces you're making. To see those awful looks causing me nothing but pain.
There's one last thing.
Let me just tell you one last thing. If you guys want to get all hung up on the word hope, that's all skin off my nose. So just be warned. From this point on, one despair after another will stand in your way. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide. Maybe you'll find some hope, but there is a fine line behind that hope to bitter despair. Knowing that you still plan to cling to your hope. Of course, because we...
It's fine.
Shut up. That was a rhetorical question. You interrupted my monologue. I'm almost done, though, so whatever. Because it's almost punishment time, right?
it can't be.
You really intend to go through with this? That was the agreement, right? Hold on. It's not like I want you to die. You don't have to.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What?
How many times do I have to tell you?
The act of living brings you no hope at all. All I wanted to die was to taste the despair of death. You only get it once in a life. So, for you it'd be more than once.
Don't get in my way! So this is how the despair of death feels. It's so wonderful!
You're really fucked up.
Even a tenth of this despair, even 100th. I want every last soul on this planet to taste such despair. I want the entire world to die with that despair in its mouth. Okay, let's do this.
Why doesn't her thumb have a nail?
I've reserved an extra special punishment for last. Let's give it everything we've got.
I missed it. It's punishment time! Congratulations. Junko has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. She's just like, yeah. Also, how would Monokuma be working? But that's the pointless. The ultimate punishment. Oh no, 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 How did she? That would hurt as hell. Like anyone would know that. After school list. The execution song! That's the first time it's in this game. Series as a whole. Emergency override. How did that get there exactly? And that's how everything came to an end. The final class trial. Junko and Nishima, the ultimate despair. Life at Hope's Peak Academy. It was all over. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. The end. Why can my heart here die? More specifically, Shirokuma and Kurokuma. And so, but even after saying it was all over. It's not like the building exploded or collapsed on itself or anything. That wasn't kind of ending waiting for us. Nothing changed. Well, with one exception. The air purifiers turned off. Just like Junko said, it shut off immediately. That was the only difference. Goodbye, Despair High School. Danganronpa. We left the courtroom and made our way back to the main hall. We stood there in front of the door. Nobody made a sound. Felt almost absent-minded. This was the epilogue before the final ending. We were stuck there in limbo, unmoving, unsure. But in the end...
Hey.
We can't just stand here around like this forever. At some point, we need to leave. Nobody's surprised. It was Kyoko who broke the silence.
Makoto.
Would you like to do the honors? As if awakened by her words, I took out the object we got. Up until the moment of her death, it belonged to Junko. And in the end, she dropped it before us. Why are there two keys? But is that really it? Is that really the key to this door? It's a button, not a key.
Indeed.
You don't have to read it into what she said too much to find the answer.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
In other words...
But...
I don't know, maybe it's a switch that makes this world blow up. I mean, Junko never said specifically that she'd let us leave here alive.
It's true.
Maybe you're right about that. Maybe.
Yes.
But even so, it's impossible to think we wouldn't take our chances. Yeah, I guess that's true. There's nothing to worry about.
My beautiful
Something out of the
scissors!
master. I take my scissors and jam them up so far up at you. Hey, Toko. Hey, where's the courtroom? Where's the mastermind? It's all over. We're just about to leave the school. What? Leave? We can't go outside? Doesn't that mean that me and Master can get married? No. Then he'll give me a little jewel of a baby? Not even in the bad ending.
That's enough.
Please stop. That would be greater for than anything I've encountered so far.
Anyway...
Don't worry. I have no doubt that we'd we'll be able to leave here without a problem.
But...
It's what happens after we get out. I'm worried about like my brother dying.
You're serious?
In other words, am I wrong?
You got it!
Donut shop. You should be a policewoman.
Hey.
Okay.
Could it be... How about that? Whoa!
Makoto.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. And goodbye to Sakura. But hey, if we gotta say goodbye, we may as well do it with a smile on our face.
Don't say goodbye. I hate goodbyes.
Hey guys! You guys want your fortunes told anywhere, anytime. You just let me know. I'll be there.
Awesome.
You know how much I hate being annoyed, but if something does come up, you may as well let me know. I can't guarantee I'll actually bother listening, but, you know.
I don't know why, but I have a burning desire to start writing. I might be able to pull it off. A story about Master and me, and the others, I guess.
I can't say I'm sorry about what happened, but still, it does feel kind of strange.
I really don't know what to say. I guess we graduated?
Sort of. Looks like hope it's really spreading. As long as we never give up, I have to push on even harder. I'm going to keep moving forward with the hope of my heart. Since I have hope, I can show courage. Since I have hope, I can move forward. The world can move ahead. The door began to open. With our hands, hope and despair mingled together, opening the door. Freedom at last. I feel good. As much as I should. Feel good. So good. I feel good. Konegi, Gumio Gata, Sayaka Maizono, Maikiko Amato, Takai Hiro Sakurai, Kosuke Tsurumi, Akira Ishida, Kazuya Nakaya, Teppei Yogichi, Masaya Kaze, Yoko Kaze. You know what? Fuck it.
Interesting. Things are getting very interesting indeed. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a teddy bear. I am Monokuma. And I am this school's headmaster.
Received the Easter egg present. Okay. All's well that ends,
Danganronpa.
and so I can do the school mode. This is the what-if simulation type play mode.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Danganronpa Academy. No, Dangan Academy. Hey.
Hey, are you for real?
Hey, come on.
Well... And...
Indeed.
You hear me?
Hey there, howdy, hello! Is everyone here? Good! Then let's get things rolling!
Hi, Monokuma.
I am Monokuma! And I am this school's headmaster. Nice to meet you all. Listen up!
So,
Why is that? Unbelievable. This is kind of depressing.
Come on.
Hey, listen.
Indeed.
Unbelievable. What? Barrett! I can't wait!
What? Come on.
Uh-huh. If you please.
Just hold on.
You guys!
No way.
Ooh, too bad.
You suck.
Are you?
Just a second. What the heck?
Unbelievable. I don't believe. What are you gonna do? Now then. Yes, indeed. Actually, isn't that wonderful? Yes, now then. Of course. I can barely contain myself. Uh-huh. Well, now.
In other...
Honestly.
For serious? Seems... Listen! You hear me?
Hey, Here. What?
What?
What the heck? Hey! Now then.
The hero.
You're right. Thank you. Oh. You know? But... Huh? Huh? You know? You know? You're right.
Okay then. So
You're right. Thank you. You know?
I feel as if...
Thank you. You know? I'm sorry. What? You know? But, you know, yeah, you know, huh? Yay!
Let's do it!
Isn't that wonderful? See ya!
Thank you. Huh? Yay!
Hello, person.
You know? Huh? Huh? But...
Awkward.
You know?
Sakura.
I see. You know? You know? That's... I see.
Isn't that wonderful? See ya.
Huh?
Hey! Hey!
Hell yeah!
Damn it! You guys?
Dang.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know?
See ya. Damn it!
Sorry.
There is nothing.
Huh?
Isn't that one? See ya.
I give up.